YouTube, it's your boy Ty. We back with another video. I know I said we were gonna be switching over. This one be gaming, this one be reactions. We're gonna keep it all on one channel. I feel like that keeps me the most productive. I do a gaming video, upload, reaction, upload. Y'all are gonna see me 24/7. So I hope y'all get ready to get tired of your boy. It's October 1st. Another month closer to November. Another month closer to December, which is another month closer to the end of the year, which is the brink of 2026. I want to make sure we at least get somewhat successful by then. So we gonna hop into this. And in honor of October, the scariest month of the year, we gonna be reacting to scary videos every day this year every day this month. And with this one being 4 most disturbing Reddit accounts by Chilling Scares. Shout out to Chilling Scares. They're almost at 2.5 milli. Hey, y'all go hit them with a sub. And also hit your boy with a sub as well. I'm not even joking. Do it.
On March 6, 2017, a rather concerning post was uploaded to Reddit titled, "Found Cry for Help on Reddit from Thai Factory Worker." This post was referring to the comments left by a user named FujiTagaikin001 on seemingly random threads. There were 44 comments in total, with the first one appearing on r/promos on February 22, 2017. And with a single exception, all contained the same words. "I face too serious problem of human rights at FujiTagaikin, Thailand. Please help me." Searching for FujiTagaikin, Thailand on Google leads to a factory of the same name. And while the factory is located in Thailand, the company that oversees its operations is—
I seen one of y'all ask why I got this on. I just came from the set of Dune 3 with Timothée Chalamet. Y'all get ready. Your boy gonna get a Grammy.
Japanese. So, from the looks of things, these comments were likely pleas for help from someone who had to work in horrible conditions at this factory, possibly even against their will, which sounds a bit absurd at first, but is actually quite plausible. You see, Thailand has a major modern-day slavery problem, primarily in its fishing—
Whoa, estimated number of living in modern slavery, 400, whoa. Yo. Damn, you got a 50-50 chance of being born into slavery in Thailand. That's actually insane. Damn, y'all. That's crazy as fuck.
Industry, but can also extend to other industries as well, with over 400,000 people being forced to work for little to no compensation. Additionally, Japan is also notorious for what's known as its black companies, which force employees into exploitative sweatshop-like environments with unpaid overtime and harsh working conditions. Given these issues, it's not unreasonable to imagine a Japanese worker getting stuck working at a factory in Thailand with no escape in sight, and all they were able to do is beg for help on the internet. They were likely not proficient in English, which would explain the grammar mistakes. Also, the vast majority of comments they left were on the most mainstream subreddits, like pics, GIFs, space, gaming, and some others, suggesting they likely—
See, so I'm not really an avid Reddit user, y'all. I downloaded Reddit like maybe 4 or 5 years ago whenever I first started watching Bruce and Your Rage, just to join their Reddits because, I was hoping maybe if I posted something funny, whatever the case may be. That's the only time I ever really got on Reddit, but I've heard of all like the confessions, Ask Reddit, this one too, Ask Reddit. I've heard of all these. But I've also seen a lot of them, like, they got real deal detectives on Reddit. If you need to go under, like, r/need help / detective, I don't know. Y'all go look that shit up. But people will really delve into, like, anything possible to find out little cases that might not even be true.
Weren't familiar with Reddit either, and might have just clicked on the top subreddits they came across and commented on the first post they saw. However, this is where this theory starts breaking down. Because despite many people offering advice and trying to help, FujiTagaikin001 never responded, neither in the comments nor in DMs. This led many to believe that these comments were nothing more than spam from a bot, which obviously isn't an uncommon sight on social platforms like Reddit. However, many argue that explanation doesn't hold much weight here, mainly because in one instance, FujiTagaikin001 posted the comment twice on the same thread, something they hadn't done in any post before or since. A bot would almost never make such a mistake, suggesting it might have been human error. On top of that, while 44 comments are a lot for a person, they are a tiny amount for spam bots that can post hundreds, if not thousands of comments in a matter of seconds. Not to mention the fact that Fuji Tagaiken 001's comments were posted over the span of 4 days, with seemingly random intervals between each comment. Put simply, these comments were almost certainly posted by a person. So, what's really going on here? Were these comments really cries for help from someone stuck in an unfortunate, exploitative situation? Well, it's hard to say. From what I was able to find on Fuji Tagaiken, there doesn't seem to be any indications of shady activity going on behind the scenes. After Fuji Tagaiken 001's story caught some attention, several people
shout out my boy
reported the
Los.
company to organizations like Amnesty International. But the company is still operational to this day, and I didn't find any news coverage of anything bad being discovered at their factory in Thailand.
He throwing on that.
It does have a few dozen negative reviews on Google.
Hey, hold on, go back to it. He said, hey, I fuck with non-vicious too, twin. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I'm fucking with y'all.
At their factory in Thailand. It does have a few dozen negative reviews on Google, but almost all of them were posted after Fuji Tagaiken 001's comment became popular on Reddit. One possible theory is that these comments were posted by a troll or a competitor with the express goal of tarnishing Fuji Tagaiken's reputation. However, there's currently no evidence that supports or contradicts this theory. The most likely explanation that I was able to come up with stems from the only comment Fuji Tagaiken 001 made that strayed from the usual pattern. Translated into English, it reads, Fuji Tagaiken, I'm being subjected to power harassment in Thailand.
Ooh.
The power harassment mentioned in this comment is a specific Japanese term used to describe workplace bullying, usually by a superior. And while it is bad, it's not as extreme as the slavery situation many on the internet assumed it to be. Here's what I believe might have happened. A Japanese employee working at Fuji Tagaiken's Thai factory was likely getting harassed by one of their superiors. Frustrated with their situation, they turned to the internet for help. But since they weren't fluent in English, they used a tool like Google Translate, which unfortunately made their comment sound far more serious than intended. Now, this is still nothing more than an educated guess. There are still many questions that remain unanswered, like why did they choose to spam it across largely unrelated subreddits? Or why did they stop commenting after 4 days? People on Reddit also discovered another one of their accounts named Help001001001 with similar comments, but that didn't provide any useful clues either, leaving the true intentions of Reddit user Fuji Tagaiken 001 a mystery to this day.
What y'all think happened? Do y'all think it was someone that just was, you know, like he said, was putting out a message and he didn't mean the seriousness that it came off? Do you think it was a bot? I don't think it was really a bot too, because it said that it was on like it said, like a bot could really spam like 1,000 in a minute if it wanted to. So why would it just do 4? And then it messed up a couple times. So who knows, bro? That was 9 years ago.
On October 27th, 2019, a newly created Reddit account named Snapped Fingers made a post on r/advice looking for help with his deteriorating mental condition, stating, "Seeing and hearing things that aren't there. Lately, I have been seeing and hearing things that aren't there, even more than normal. Most of the time, it's small things like seeing spiders on me in my peripheral vision, only to look at them and they disappear. Other times when I'm in bed, this thing about the thickness of a big fist pops up like a big snake on the side of my bed and looks at me only to dart back down out of sight. Whenever I..."
Ooh, fuck no. I'll be real. This first one, I feel like that's me sometimes, you know? But this one, hell no. I couldn't imagine looking at like some snake ass shit at the side of my bed and it just darts down whenever I look at it. No.
Investigate, nothing is there. Rarely, there's full body visual hallucinations. The last one was from a couple years ago when I was taking out the garbage. The silhouette of a child crunched down on all fours charged me only to disappear when I looked at it. And before...
Nigga, what games are you playing? What's putting that in your head? Ooh, what's this next one?
Before that, there was a large, fleshy, naked, featureless figure slowly walking on all fours in the room down the hall, approximately the average size of a man. The OP then went on to describe how he'd had similar audio-visual hallucinations since he was a child, and how the situation was getting worse as of late. Unfortunately, he didn't seem to have anyone in his life he could rely on. According to the OP, his relatives dismissed his condition as something supernatural, and his friends, quote, kicked him to the curb, suggesting he might have had a falling out with them. The OP also described his reasoning for not getting a medical diagnosis, as to him it felt like the doctors were treating him like a science experiment. This post alone painted Snapped Fingers as a deeply...
No, this ain't funny. I feel so bad because it just sounds like this nigga sick. Like it sounds like he's schizo. Like I'm sorry. Like it just sounds like it's building up, right, bro? Fuck his family and friends because this nigga was obviously going through some shit, schizophrenia, obviously, and they just kicked him to the curb. They said no, it's supernatural. Yo, this isn't even funny. Like funny, haha. You know what I mean? Like. This is funny because, bro, how the fuck did everybody kick him to the curb? Like they're damn near probably as crazy as whatever he's seeing. This is actually sad. And the reason why I'm actually thinking that it might be like him being schizophrenic is because the whole doctor comment, like he doesn't go to the doctors because he feels like he's just an experiment. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a lot of people that go through those stages where they think that whenever they're getting meds to help them with their hallucinations or whatever, they think the doctors are, you know, fucking with their brain even more. So they're like, yo, fuck these doctors. I'm out. Fuck y'all.
Troubled person
Deuces.
who's likely suffering from severe schizophrenia and possibly other mental illnesses as
Bro, go ahead and give me my PhD. If y'all ever need a one-on-one talk with Ty, y'all got me. Go ahead and leave it down in the comments.
well. However, this was just the beginning of the deeply disturbing spiral he would eventually descend into.
I need advice. Ooh, wait a minute. I need advice on things that appear but shouldn't. Please message me. October 27th. What did I tell y'all about October, y'all? That's his birthday. Snapped fingers. Look at this fucking profile pic. Look at this fucking profile pic. I promise y'all, I'm very expressive when it comes to profile pics. Y'all see me switch my profile pic every once in a while. I don't mind it. But never will you ever see my shit be this. The day you see this, just know I'm not here no more. Shit scary as fuck. Hell no.
This was just the beginning of the deeply disturbing spiral he would eventually descend into. Starting from his very next post on r/confessions titled, "Saw someone get run over by a train and didn't feel anything." Things drifted from mental hallucinations to physical harm from that point on, with Snapped Fingers asking, "If I bite off my own finger, could it be reattached or attached somewhere else?"
Nigga, where are you trying to put your finger? This nigga wanna walk around with two dicks. You wanna walk around with two dicks.
The OP also shared a story of a painful experience he had to go through because of his condition, reading, "In 2008, I stuck a power drill into my arm. Sometime back in 2008, I was putting together a shelf when this large black mass came out of nowhere and engulfed my unoccupied arm. I didn't see it till it was right up on me. It scared me so badly, and it was coming up from my arm for my face. So I started jamming the drill into it. On the second strike, I hit my arm and the hallucination dissipated." Concerned users once
This nigga's so, oh my gosh. And his family still like ditched him after that? They didn't get this nigga help? That's sad. Fuck. Am I smarter than a 5th grader? No. We will be having a video on that soon. We'll start doing Are You Smarter Than a 5th Grader vids. We'll drop that shit, y'all. Bro, yo, what? If he's still out here, if you're still out here somewhere, bro, I pray for you. Cause fuck.
again urged the OP to seek medical help, but he declined it once again, stating that he didn't want to
67.
end up in a mental asylum or become an experiment.
Don't do that shit to me again, bro. Don't do that shit to me again, bro. We over here trying to have a serious moment.
For doctors again. However, while he rejected most of the normal advice under this post, the one comment he agreed with suggested a fairly absurd explanation for OP's situation, suggesting that maybe the OP could see into another dimension. This was odd, considering his earlier reservation.
Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my gosh. And then people in the comments aren't fucking helping. That's why you can't have everyone on the fucking internet, because some people with schizophrenia are out here indulging in other schizophrenia acts. Schizophrenic acts? Yo. Say schizophrenia like 20 times without fucking up, and I'll give you 20,000.
About the clearly
I don't got 20,000. Please don't.
Untrue supernatural beliefs of his relatives. But for some unknown reason, this one comment struck a chord with him, resulting in him spiraling out of control and eventually adopting the belief that his hallucinations were caused by some interdimensional beings. Much of this
No. He let him down. This is what caused it.
Belief was fueled by equally mentally ill or outright delusional individuals he befriended on platforms like Discord. But in Snapped Fingers' broken, mentally ill mind, he'd finally found the truth. So he began inquiring about how to deal with these so-called interdimensional beings, what was the best way to banish them, and what he had to sacrifice to make these beings leave him alone. Now, it's
What the fuck? What the fuck? So this is what kind of scares me in the sense. If he's already seeing things in his arm, if he's seeing shit in his arm, and he's willing to put a fucking power drill through that shit, imagine if he sees someone else as an interdimensional being. I can't take that shit. Hey, what's good with y'all? Hey, I appreciate it.
People giving him these ideas genuinely believed what they were saying, or if they were just trolls who were taking advantage of OP's mental illness to see how far they could push.
Wait a minute. Am I tweaking? Is October the month of weird coincidences? Bro, see, October fucking up. See, I forget. For those of y'all on YouTube, I apologize. Y'all can't see what's going on in chat. I just absolutely got mind befuddled. I don't even know what's going on. My bad, y'all.
Regardless of their intentions,
yeah, I don't know what happened.
The end result was the spiraling of a vulnerable young man who now believed that there were, quote, interdimensional hell portals in the Paris catacombs, and that his duty was to close said portals. He even started denying having schizophrenia in favor of this false belief.
Oh, fuck.
To make matters worse, Snapped Fingers actually...
What's worse than a nigga having schizophrenia is a nigga that has schizophrenia and says he doesn't have schizophrenia. Like, this nigga will swear on everything he don't got schizo. Yo, if I start telling y'all I don't got shit in a few years, just know that I might have turned out like...
Never mind. Traveling to Paris in May of 2020 to achieve his newfound goal, and apparently stole a car to do so. On the 5th of May, he made one final post before entering the catacombs, stating, "We'll be entering the catacombs in a few hours-ish." Before, someone had asked about a time frame for when I'll post an update, and while I don't know how big the catacombs are, my guess is maybe a day or two before my return with videos. I've taken some test footage while I was held up inside a dumpster the other night, and the quality honestly isn't that great. But
nigga, what? So while I was held up in a dumpster, sir. What are we doing in a dumpster? Okay, I forgot. He's probably homeless. Let me be real. My bad. Where the fuck did you get the camera from? Bro, we're not even playing a game right now, bro. We're reacting to the 4 most disturbing Reddit accounts. This shit's actually insane.
It's alright. To make up for the quality of the video, I will take more footage while I'm down there. However, the update never came, leading many to believe that the OP had likely gotten lost and passed away from exhaustion or dehydration inside the catacombs. For those who don't know, the Paris catacombs stretch over 186 miles, or 300 kilometers, most of which is...
Hey, I appreciate it. For anyone who wants to go through and follow on Twitch, I appreciate y'all. Twitch, Kick don't got ads or anything like that. We're only live on TikTok right now because we're making a YouTube video. But bro, the Paris catacombs, I never knew it was this extensive. I never knew it was this extensive. I've seen As Above, So Below. That was a movie I watched like a long time ago. I probably got to rewatch it soon so I can like re-envision the depths of this. Because in the movie, they go through and they get lost in the catacombs, I think. But it makes a lot of fucking sense. Whoa, look at this. Those little, those skulls, I was about to say those skulls down there are the same ones in the fucking movie title. But Ty, a skull looks like a skull. Let me get back into it. I just didn't know that it was this extensive. This is actually fucking crazy. I wanna learn more on what the cause of the catacombs were, bro. That's gonna be another topic, bro. It's October. Let's get into it, man.
completely unexplored. Entering these unknown sections is pretty much a death sentence for even experts.
I do have
on the
multiple
location,
accounts,
let alone
but
a
I don't
complete
know
rookie like the OP. But to everyone's surprise, Snapped Fingers actually made a comeback almost 2 years later in May of 2022. It seemed he somehow successfully found his way into the catacombs, explored them for a while, and then managed to find his way back. He made a post admitting that there were no portals or anything of that nature in there, followed by
this nigga came back 2 years later and said, yo, my bad, y'all. Turns out I might be a little crazy. Like, yeah, the portals I've been talking about, they weren't actually down there. The schizo y'all said I might have, it's currently in my brain. So, y'all, I want to let y'all know that's not nothing to joke about. It's just, damn.
A final post meant to give everyone invested in his story some closure. And while he didn't go into details of what happened after he entered the catacombs, he did seem to be on the right path, stating, "Without going into much detail, I am not dead, and even though things are not perfect, I am always improving despite minor hiccups here and there. But as I said before, I intend to distance myself from this and will take the necessary steps to achieve that in order to return to normality." His account, which is now deleted, stood as a disturbing showcase of the delusions of a mentally ill man that almost led him to his own death in the Paris catacombs.
Imagine how crazy that post fucking schizo nut clarity was. I don't even know what you could call that. But like, he probably went through and looked at all the messages and all his shit like that he put in Reddit and just said like, bro, what the fuck was I thinking?
Hopefully he was able to get the help he needed and is doing much better in life.
Amen to that, y'all. Hey, and shout out
April
fucking
Bever
Hostess,
was a 45-year-old woman who lived in the city of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma with her husband, 45-year-old David Bever, and their 7 children. April was the primary caretaker of her family.
7 children, damn. Nigga, that's the, if any problems happen, that's the issue. I promise. Any problem that happens in a 7 children household, that is the main cause. Any financial issues, you got 7 kids. Any living issues, you got 7 kids. Emotional drama in the household because the mother can't distribute the emotion, between all 7 kids. It's because you had 7 kids. Yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Yes, exactly, Lucci. Wrap your dick up. Nigga, this is why we need to bring into effect the shit we've been trying to talk about. Birth control for men. Imagine if niggas could just put their balls on a 24-hour cooldown. Yo, actually, damn. I don't even want to think about the shit niggas would do with that, bro. Like, niggas wouldn't even... Niggas are already unsafe now. The fuck? Shit. Let's just get back into the video. We switching topics.
Family,
it's
as
getting
well
too
as a
scary.
Teacher for her homeschool children.
Too scary.
In addition to this, she also liked browsing Reddit, where she went by the name of Aoki Mom. Given her otherwise busy lifestyle, Reddit was one place where she could talk to other like-minded people and make new connections. Though many of her posts revolved around the love she had for her children. On a post discussing the financial benefits of not having any kids, April wrote, "I have 7 children and we have always lived on one income and have never had any government assistance or needed it. We have a 4,700 square foot house, 2 newer cars, and my kids do not do without. There are childless people that do not have this. Life is about making good job or income choices and then making the best money choices based on your income. I would never give up having any of my children so I could have more money. They are amazing people and the world would benefit by having them in it. And nothing I could buy or invest in could compare to giving a person a chance to have a life."
And see, this is where I feel like you can make that argument because I know 7 kids and still not needing any government assistance is low-key a flag. Bro, that's what I'm saying, nigga. If you stun like that, nigga, you can stun like that. That's why you got NBA Youngboy, Nick Cannon, all these niggas out here nutting in all these different women. Bro, they can afford it. Why you think Genghis Khan was doing the shit okay, Genghis Khan was different. We gonna have to talk about Genghis Khan later. Genghis Khan was a different nigga. Do not be like Genghis Khan. We are not in pre-mortal times. I don't even think that's a word, but regardless, yes, if you are able to provide, I'm still gonna say this. Even if you have $2 million, if you have $1 million for each kid you birth into this world, it still doesn't matter because to a degree, you're still making it about money. You're saying money can't like do this, that, and the third. But you're saying, oh, because I have all this money, I'm able to provide all these kids this life. Yes, you can provide them life, But when you think of a kid growing up, you need a lot of emotional support. A lot. And I'm not someone who has a lot of siblings. I live with my mom. You know what I mean? But from people that I've heard that have a lot of siblings, when it comes to stuff like this, the older child is always feeling like they have to raise the kids because they are most of the time. The middle children are kind of feeling off because they were the second born, or the second generation coming up, to where they had their older brothers or sisters to look after them, but they also still wanted the attention from their mother because they were the younger kids. And then the youngest generation comes in, and then they have to just, oh, my bad, we have to forget that these people come first now. And then it's just a whole weird dynamic. And this very dynamic can have the oldest hating the youngest hating the middle hating the middle. Like, bro, why would you do that? Just, I don't know.
But simply,
what I would say though is, bro, if you're adopting tons of kids, I can say that's different. If you're adopting a bunch of kids throughout different ages and bringing them into your home and giving them that life to live, that I can respect.
Yeah, there was
this is all like popping them out. Like, damn, nigga, do you not get tired at some point?
Nothing April treasured more than her family. Sadly, her time with this family was cut short in 2015 in what would later be remembered as one of the greatest tragedies of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. On July 22nd, 2015, the Broken Arrow Police Department received a 911 call from 12-year-old Daniel Bever, April and David's third son.
Broken Arrow 911. Hello?
Oh,
Hi, where are you at?
Broken Arrow, Oklahoma 7411.
What address?
709 Magnolia Court.
Okay. Are you the only one there?
No, my brother's attacking my family.
Your dad is attacking your family?
No, my brother. He has an idea stealing me.
The call ended shortly after, and any subsequent attempts from the police to contact the family were unsuccessful. Officers rushed to the scene as quickly as they could. When they reached the Bever house, the front door was locked, so they forced their way in. However, nothing could have prepared them for the massacre they were about to witness on the other side of that door.
Come on.
The first person officers found was 13-year-old Crystal, lying in the hallway in a pool of her own blood. She'd been stabbed multiple times, including a slash across her throat. Despite her injuries, however, she was conscious and managed to tell the officers that her two older brothers, 18-year-old Robert and 16-year-old Michael, were the ones responsible for everything.
These fuck niggas planned it. These psychopathic ass motherfuckers planned it. Look at them. You can tell. Bro, wow. Yo, tell me why for a second I thought this was like his first mugshot and this is like 2 years later. Nah, these are brothers. Oh my God, that makes me so, I feel so sad for that young girl. She was 13. Oh my God, bro. That makes, oh my God, I have a pit in my fucking stomach hearing that. Like, obviously you hear a lot of these stories because it's so bad now. But imagine as a 13-year-old girl, your last thing that you can even say, your last interaction with life is telling police officers that the reason why you're laying in a pool of your own blood with your throat slashed, barely able to talk to them, is because of your older, demented ass brothers that attacked your fucking family. There's people that live through their whole life always watching their back because they know of all the dangers in this world, and it's sad that motherfuckers live in the house like that. I'm sorry, bro.
Further inside the home, officers found the remains of the rest of the family, all with dozens of stab wounds. April was in a...
I forgot she wasn't even the youngest kid. Oh my fucking gosh, bro.
especially rough shape, with a later autopsy report confirming over 48 wounds on her body. The only one left unharmed was the youngest, 2-year-old Autumn. However, Robert and Michael were nowhere to be.
And you know what? This is exactly how I fucking see it. So everyone passed away. Everyone, not even passed away. I'm saying it like that to show respect, but you know that their lives were taken from them by the two oldest. But you know what they did? They kept the youngest one alive because the baby hasn't yet been able to experience much through life, but also it's a new cycle. These kids, I say these fucking demented ass fucks, 16 and 18, y'all can get life at this point. I don't give a fuck. Bury them, death sentence, I don't care. As I said earlier, and I'm not going to try and like feed into my narrative, but I'm going to allow this to play through. But it's almost kind of what I was saying. The older kids probably resented not only the younger kids, but the family. The mom, they hated the mom because the mom probably showed so much more attention to the younger kids, leaving them all out, leaving them being so isolated so they can talk about whatever fucked up ideas they have going through their head. Oh my God, bro. Yeah. They probably most definitely planned this shit too.
Scene. Fortunately, investigators were quick to determine that they might have escaped from the back door, and it wasn't long before the two were located and subsequently arrested, hiding in the woods.
You motherfuckers. Look at these fucks. Look at these fucks, y'all.
And it wasn't long before the two were located.
I hope this is from whatever officers grabbing them by their fucking shirts and dragging them. Cause yo, oh my gosh, this nigga's fucking smiling.
Located and subsequently arrested, hiding in the woods behind their home. When asked about it, Robert said that he was
Nigga, they were hiding in the woods behind their home.
Arrested,
Bitch, what woods?
hiding in the woods behind.
This shit looks like a fucking park. This is where they were hiding. Are you fucking stupid? Even this area, like, dude, you just killed your whole family. You think hiding in an area like this is gonna help? I swear, not some of them, most of these criminals are brain dead. It makes no sense.
When asked about it, Robert said that he was proud of what he had done. Later interrogation also revealed their motive, which boiled down to imitating the actions of other mass murderers they had read about on the internet. They wanted to start with their own family and then leave a trail of blood across many states.
And look at y'all fucking failed. Y'all fucking failed, y'all. I'm sorry for pausing so much, but this is that shit I hate. This is that shit I hate. And by no means am I trying to like advocate for people to go out and start doing it. But bro, look at fucking losers y'all are. Y'all lost in life, so y'all said, you know what? Let's just throw our life away and become the best killers possible. And you failed by not even being able to leave your house. Your fucking little brother caught you. Look at these fucking... Dude.
Oh, I want to be a serial killer.
Nigga. If you didn't have your fucking teammates in your own spawn, you wouldn't have been able to get your KD up. Fuck, nigga. You stupid ass, bro. I hate...
Fortunately, they were caught before they could execute this plan completely. They stood trial multiple times over the next few years and were found guilty on the charges
ugly
filed
ass
against
niggas,
them.
bro.
Michael was sentenced to 5 consecutive life sentences, while Robert was given 9 for being the primary mastermind behind the crime. Aoki Mom's Reddit account and subsequent posts are now left abandoned, seen in a much more disturbing light following the massacre that took place over a decade earlier. On the 7th of August 2015, Reddit user Is There Life After Lyme made a post in the Lyme disease subreddit recounting her terrible experience with the ailment, writing, "Lyme disease has ruined my life. I was diagnosed by an LLMD last year with congenital Lyme disease, as well as several co-infections after several years of suffering with horrible brain fog, depression, vision problems, and memory loss.
Damn.
I was so happy to finally get a diagnosis. Since then, I have been getting treated, but I have not gotten any better at all. I am a single working mother, and between visits to my LLMD and the formulas I buy from her and paying for things for my child, I am struggling to stay afloat. I do not have health insurance, and it's getting to the point where I'm looking into food stamps. My LLMD tells me that I will get worse if I stop the treatments now because the bacteria are smart. There are no other LLMDs in my area, so I can't go for a second opinion, and it's useless to go to a traditional doctor where I'll just be laughed at. I feel like I've tried everything and nothing has worked. I've even begun to see signs of congenital Lyme disease in my 5-year-old daughter. The hostility, the impulsiveness, the inability to concentrate. I simply can't afford to get her treated for Lyme."
Wait a minute, what? That's what Lyme disease is? Impulsiveness, inability to concentrate, hostility.
I've even
I mean, maybe in a 5-year-old. By the way, living on food stamps isn't a bad thing and shouldn't be looked down upon. No, not at all. Fuck no. Fuck no. I would definitely say that that's one thing that should not be looked down upon. But I also think that there are some people that abuse it, because I've seen some people that abuse it in a way, and I wouldn't even say food stamps. Let me correct that, because this whole topic could go on talking about, like, you know, things that'll be 30 minutes long. But I know y'all have seen the videos out there of like moms in Section 8 housing, you know, telling their sons or telling their daughters that they can't get a job, because if they get a job, then they'll be forced to start actually working. And there's, you know, obviously there's negative things out there, and I feel like that's the stuff that people like to look at whenever they say something's negative, but they always don't want to look at the benefits and the positives behind the fact. So yeah, no, most definitely isn't a bad
asked
thing.
myself if I should give her up for adoption and if I'm fit to be a mother with my mind the way it is.
No.
I just don't know what to do. Lyme disease has ruined my life. It ended my first marriage and estranged me from my ex. I guess my main
Bro,
question...
let me look up. Yo, we gonna look up some educational shit real quick. We'll keep this going real quick, because I still want the vid playing for y'all.
Question is, where do I go from here? What do I do if I'm not getting better? How could I pay for treatment without going broke and having to apply for food stamps? And if all this wasn't bad enough, in a comment under this post, she also revealed that her LLMD was also strictly against antibiotics and only prescribed herbal formulas. Not only were these expensive herbal treatments largely ineffective in treating the core issue, they were actively
okay, so it's a whole lot of shit.
with one of these prescriptions causing hallucinations and psychosis, as well as physical symptoms like an upset stomach. From what she revealed in this post, OP's life seemed truly hopeless. However, something about her story didn't feel right. The symptoms she described weren't in line with the most common symptoms of Lyme disease. More importantly, she herself admitted that all of her Lyme disease tests were actually negative, and that her entire diagnosis, and by extension treatment, was based on a single test that came back inconclusive. Either her LLMD was taking advantage of her, or she was lying about her life to gain sympathy from other Redditors. In either case, something was very wrong. Despite the growing skepticism, however, Is There Life After Lyme kept posting about Lyme disease and other related subjects. But then, in September 21st, she made a post that shed further light on her condition, more specifically how it related to her deteriorating mental state. In it, she recounted a psychotic episode she experienced at the grocery store earlier that week, where voices were screaming at her to buy specific things or they would hurt her. Most users who saw the post urged her to seek professional help, which would have likely helped her get her life in order. Surprisingly, she agreed with these suggestions, promised to admit herself into a psych ward, and stopped posting entirely. Unfortunately, by the time she returned in 2016, her mental state had somehow gotten significantly worse.
Damn!
She started rambling about random conspiracy theories relating to everything from the child-free subreddit to the Pizzagate conspiracy and how it all relates to Lyme disease. Is There Life After Lyme had officially gone off the deep end, and her situation was getting worse.
I'm sorry. It's not funny her talking about conspiracy theories and going off the deep end. It's funny that she's talking about all these conspiracy theories, and then she connects it to Lyme disease. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like like people that would talk and be like, "Oh my gosh, just everything going on in the world, and broke and poverty and homelessness and starvation and black people." like you trying to connect it at that last one, like that's what makes a difference. Like, no.
With each passing day.
And you know those types of people I'm talking about. I don't gotta say it.
Completely unreadable. These nonsensical posts were occasionally...
Wait, hold on. The hanging. This is just to say, when I was driving once, I saw this written on a bridge. You may well ignore my promises, drunk as you were on wine when you made them, but bitch, I happen to have pickled your words. And yes, sometimes I fish them out, them orphan syllables preserved in brine, and yes, they sting like salt, but at least you can never eat. Bro, the reason why I had to read this is because it popped up on the screen, and a lot of it just looked very nice to my brain. You know what I mean? Whenever I read, y'all, I read that, right? I was able to read it, no stuttering, no nothing, right? Let me take y'all into a little depth of my brain. Let's just read a couple of these comments. The third story is so heartbreaking. I'm not even playing, y'all. The third story is so heartbreaking. Hearing the kid pleading for help only to then be cut short because he was probably the next to be attacked by his own brothers. I don't know how those two became so deranged and heartless, but I have to assume that living with so many brothers and sisters meant that none of them were really getting much attention, so it was easier for them to go unnoticed and develop mental disease. Okay, so what I've come to realize about my reading, at the very start of that, I kept messing up because I was so used to reading in this, but my brain can easily understand this, whereas the other one, I think that I'm reading too quick. So I think she's just sort of typing in kind of like, you know, like you speed type. Yeah. I don't know.
Interrupted by her disturbing cries for help as well. But she didn't respond coherently to anyone who reached out to her, which was extremely concerning for many. This went on till February 2019, after which she completely disappeared from the internet, leaving many to wonder what actually happened to her. However, some Reddit users weren't concerned at all, since in their eyes, the entire Is There Life After Lyme account was nothing more than a clever hoax. And it's easy to see why. There were quite a few inconsistencies in her posting habits that hinted at the whole thing being fake. For instance, if she'd truly become incapable of stringing together a single coherent sentence, how was she able to operate a computer or phone enough to make these posts in the first place? Additionally, she also started making parts of her posts in other languages.
I don't know.
But when people translated these other languages, they were generally written without any errors, even though the English portion of the same post was completely incomprehensible. However, before people were able to reach a conclusion about whether it was all real or not, someone claiming to be her sister logged into her account and told others she'd been hospitalized after an incident. If we assume the whole thing was fake from the start, it's possible the person behind the account noticed the skepticism and introduced the sister character to wrap up the story. On the other hand, if everything about Is There Life After Lyme was genuine, this remains as one of the most haunting cases of mental deterioration archived on the internet.
Okay. Well, shit. Shout out Chilling Scares. Those were crazy ass Reddit accounts. And what I want y'all to realize that a lot of it does go through schizophrenia. And I want y'all to be aware that that is serious. If y'all are ever going through anything that may seem like it, or any of your family members, friends may be encountering symptoms that may be coming along those terms as some of these people, please don't just ditch them off to the curb, y'all. Be there for them, help them. I know it could probably be hard, be very irritating, it'll probably be a stressful journey, but you do not want to see them end up in a Reddit video of them going down a rabbit hole, losing their mind because you kicked them to the curb thinking it was just spiritual or thinking it was just some crazy shit, all right? But I appreciate y'all for coming through. If y'all liked it, be sure to like and subscribe. And hey, happy October 1st. I'll see y'all October 2nd. Peace. Love y'all.